Reach high, for stars lie hidden in you. Dream deep, for every dream precedes the goal. With these words of Rabindranath Tagore, I wish you all a very good morning and a warm welcome to the distinguished guest speakers of the day, respected principal, participants from various colleges, my dear students, and faculty members. A very good morning to one and all, and I welcome you all to the third day, the last day of the 3-day virtual international conference on the life and teachings of Sri Narayana Guru. To begin the program, we'll invoke the Almighty with Devat Ashaham.
ദൈവമേ കാത്തുകൊള്ളുന്ന കൈവിടാതിങ്ങുലങ്ങളെ നാവികൻ നീ ഭവാദിത്യരാവിവൻ തോടി നിൻ പദം ഒന്നൊന്നായി എണ്ണി എണ്ണി തൊട്ടെങ്ങും പൊരുളൊടുങ്ങിയാൽ നിന്നിടും ദൃക്കുപോലുള്ളം നിന്നില സ്പന്ദമാകണം അന്നവസ്ത്രാദി മുട്ടാതെ തന്നു രക്ഷിച്ചു ഞങ്ങളെ ധന്യരാക്കുന്ന നീയൊന്നു തന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾക്കു തമ്പുരാൻ ആഴിയും തിരയും കാറ്റും ആഴവും പോലെ ഞങ്ങളും മായയും നിന്മഹിമയും നീയുമെന്നുള്ളിലാകണം നീയല്ലോ സൃഷ്ടിയും സ്രഷ്ടാവായതും സൃഷ്ടിജാലവും നീയല്ലോ ദൈവമേ സൃഷ്ടിക്കുള്ള സാമഗ്രിയായതും നീയല്ലോ മായയും മായാവിയും മായാവിനോദനം നീയല്ലോ മായയെ നീക്കി സായുജ്യം നൽകുമാര്യനും നീ സത്യം ജ്ഞാനമാനന്ദം നീ തന്നെ വർത്തമാനവും ഭൂതവും ഭാവിയും വേറല്ല ഓതുമൊഴിയുമോർക്കിൽ നീ അകവും പുറവും തിങ്ങും മഹിമാനിൻ പദം പുകഴ്ത്തുന്നു ഞങ്ങളങ്ങ് ഭഗവാനെ ജയിക്കുക.
Every sunrise is God saying, Welcome home. May I now invite Dr. M. Saravanan, Associate Professor and Head, Department of International Business, to welcome the gathering and to introduce our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Deepa Krishna L. Please, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Let us first of all be thankful to God Almighty for all His blessings that we have all gathered here on this occasion of the final day of the International Conference on the Life and Teachings of Sri Narayana Guru. It is a matter of privilege for me to deliver the welcome address to this august gathering. This was the first international conference in the history of our college which is completely conducted on a digital platform due to COVID-19 pandemic. Leadership is hard to define and good leadership even harder. But if you can get people to follow you to the ends of the earth, you are a great leader, said Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo. All of us needs a source of light to guide in a right path, and our guide is our principal. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our beloved and most respected principal, Dr. M. Elangovan, for his continuous support, constant encouragement, infinite patience, stimulated criticism, and immense help extended in making arrangements for this conference. It makes me proud and immense pleasure to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. M. Elangovan, for this conference. Welcome, sir. The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence. It is my pleasure to welcome such an excellent and an eminent personality. Today, we have Dr. Preeta Krishna L., Assistant Professor of English, Sri Narayana College, Varkala, Trivandrum, our most respected guest, who has wholeheartedly agreed to spare her valuable time for us and also will be delivering on metaphors in the poetic works of Sri Narayana Guru. Welcome, ma'am. At this juncture, I am very happy to welcome the participants who have shown keen interest in participating in today's conference. I extend a hearty welcome to the heads of the department, members of faculty and students for their enthusiastic participation. Now, it's the time to introduce our most respected guest to the audience. Dr. Preeta Krishna L. is presently working as an assistant professor, academic level 2 in the Department of English, Sri Narayana College, Shivagiri, Varkala, which is under University of Kerala. She has completed her graduation and post-graduation from University College, Trivandrum, and Masters in Education from the Department of Education, University of Kerala. She has qualified education. And professor, her research areas are metaphors, creativity, and ELT. She has presented papers both at national and international level. Her doctoral dissertation is on metaphors in ESL classroom. Welcome, one and all.
I now request Dr. Preeta Krishna L. to take over the session. Please, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, one and all. Respected Chairman, Sri Narayana Guru Educational Trust, Sri N. Prabhakaran Sir. Respected Principal, Sri Narayana Guru College, Chavadi, Coimbatore, Dr. M. Ilangovan Sir. Respected Organizing Secretary of this wonderful 3-day international virtual conference titled Life and Teachings of Sri Narayana Guru. The Organizing Secretary, Dr. E.K. Girishan Sir. And my dear participants. As already I'm introduced here, I'm Preeta Krishna L, presently working as Assistant Professor in the Department of English, Sri Narayana College, Shivagiri, Varkala. It's in Trivandrum, Kerala. And I'm very happy to be a part of this academic exercise. I think an international 3-day conference on the life and teachings of Sri Narayana Guru is something that has never been done by any of the higher education institutions in India. And therefore, the organizing committee, Dr. Girishan Sir, and the entire team of Sri Narayana Guru College, Chavadi, they deserve, really, they deserve a special appreciation for undertaking such a, an enriching and enlightening academic exercise. Congratulations, the entire team. And I express my sincere gratitude to all there who have invited me to share my thoughts on Sri Narayana philosophy. And the topic that I have selected here to talk on is metaphors in the poetical works of Sri Narayana Guru. Madam, can you please share the PPT presentation?
Yes, ma'am. I will share you, ma'am.
Metaphors in the poetical works of Sri Narayana Guru. That is the title of the presentation. So in this presentation, we'll first look into the general aspects of language and how it is linked with philosophy. See the relationship between, is there any connection between language and philosophy? And secondly, we'll see what metaphors are and what are the characteristics of metaphors. Thirdly, we'll look into the metaphors in 2 of the poetical works of Sri Narayana Guru. And I have taken here 3 metaphors from Guru's Darshanamala and 4 from Devadashagam. And lastly, we'll see how these metaphors bring out the philosophy of oneness, or how it is about seeing metaphors as Advaita. So that is what I'm going to present here. So we'll begin. Yes, the first slide, the introduction. From prehistoric times to the present, language has remained an integral part of human life. The Indian tradition and even philosophy, they had given an elevated or exalted position to language. The alphabetics and dialectics of language help us to perceive the profound, which is always beyond measure. And central to the philosophical inquiry into the language and literature or the linguistics is the concept called metaphors. So, can you show me the next slide, ma'am? So, in the next slide, I will explain to you what is a metaphor. Okay. Metaphors are figures of speech. We call it as alankaram in Malayalam. And metaphors are figures of speech in which one concept is described in terms of another different concept. That is, one concept is said to be as another concept. That is metaphor. For example, life is a journey. One thing is another. Life is journey itself. So that is metaphor. Actually, life is one thing and journey is another different concept. But we try to see a similarity in them. And in Malayalam, we call it as metaphor is called as രൂപകം. അവർണ്യത്തിന് വർണ്ണ്യത്തോട് അഭേദം ചൊൽകുന്നത് രൂപകം എന്നാണ്. Bheda means വ്യത്യാസം, difference, and abheda means no difference or the same. So rupagam or metaphors, it means not two but one, just as the Advaita. See how we can connect language with philosophy. So metaphor, we can say, is a linguistic way of equating things in spite of the differences. So in this sense, we can say all mathematical equations are metaphorical in nature. See how metaphors are becoming an interdisciplinary concept. We can see equations are as metaphorical. Now, how many metaphors are there if we take English, if we take Malayalam? That is what we are going to see. Right from the nursery rhyme, which says stars are diamonds in the sky, to William Shakespeare's all the world is a stage and all men and women are players, merely players. The world of English, if we take the example of English language, English literature, the world of English language and literature is mounted with metaphors. William Shakespeare's plays abound with metaphors. Shakespeare speaks metaphorically through the character Polonius in Act 2, Scene 2 of Hamlet, when he says, brevity is the soul of wit. It's a metaphor. And the metaphorical phrase within the monologue by Prince Hamlet, what a piece of work is man, is another instance of Shakespeare's use of metaphor. And in the play The Tempest, through the character of Prospero, Shakespeare says, we are such stuff as dreams are made of. See, the stuff of man, the essence of man is compared to the stuff of dreams. And the same metaphor we can see in Sri Narayana Guru, his writings, and the same metaphorical mind we can see in Narayana Guru as well. And all these metaphors make mysterious and or mystical the depth and dimensions of Shakespearean philosophical world of words and thoughts. Now, coming to some other examples of metaphors in English literature. John Keats concludes the poem Endymion by saying truth is beauty and beauty truth. This we can connect it with the Indian concept of truth, beauty and goodness. We say it as Satyam Shivam Sundaram. And if we take another example, Tennyson in the poem Ulysses, he gives an answer to the much asked philosophical question, who am I? And for that he says, I am part of all that I have met. So all these are examples of metaphors in English literature. And we have several other examples of metaphors in English, not only in its literature, but also in its language as well. Like, for example, if I say, my father is a lion, I'm trying to communicate something, right? Then another example, if I say my home is a prison, he is a walking encyclopedia, he is the apple of my eye. And if I say love is a battlefield. So all these are examples of metaphors in English language. Not only in English language and literature, we can see metaphors in almost all the holy books. For example, Tattum Asi, that is you, that is metaphorical. Or if we take another example, you are the salt of the earth. That also is metaphorical. And another example, we have aham brahmam, again metaphor. So all this says one thing is another. There's no difference, the same. So we can see metaphor is a philosophical concept used in language which enable us to convey even the absolute. Okay. Now, ma'am, can you show the next slide? Now, we will look into the characteristics, some of the characteristics of metaphor. I'm focusing on metaphor because it is highly philosophical. Okay. Ma'am, can you show the next slide? We look into yes, the characteristics of metaphors. Using metaphors, implicit, implied, or hidden resemblances of two contradictory or totally unrelated concepts are made. This makes it possible to convey large amount of information in a concise way. See, by saying one thing is another, the mind is forced into a powerful associative process, and it helps to discover new ways of expression and understand difficult concepts. So, as two dissimilar or different concepts are placed together to create understanding, metaphors become a powerful thinking process. It's a thinking process. And according to the French philosopher Paul Ricoeur, whose very famous book, that the name of the book is The Rule of Metaphor, Multidisciplinary Studies in the Creation of Meaning in Language. And in that book, Paul Ricoeur says metaphors revive our perception, through which we become aware of our creative capacity to see the world with wider perception, broad sense, broad vision. We get a broad vision, wider perception. And ma'am, can you show the next slide? And according to Jan Littlemore, she is a professor of language and applied linguistics. She's presently professor of language and applied linguistics in the University of Birmingham. And in her book, the title of the book is Metaphoric Intelligence. She says metaphoric intelligence leads to improved language learning, and it will heighten students' associative fluency. So it provides literal as well as contextual meaning. And according to Jerome Bruner, the eminent educationalist and American psychologist, in his book, The Conditions of Creativity, he says metaphor is at the center of creative process. And what is that? How metaphor is connected with creativity? Actually, trying to understand meaning through logic alone can disrupt the creative process. But through metaphors, two ideas that have less logical connections are linked together. And by breaking the rules of logic, metaphors open up creativity by evoking divergent images, ideas, and concepts. Even Aristotle has mentioned in his theories about the importance of metaphors. Is there any disturbance in between? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
See, Aristotle believed was that metaphor appears as a creative process of establishing similarities. And the Department of English, Stockholm University, offers an annual metaphor festival. And according to its website, the interest in the use of metaphors has increased considerably over the last few decades. And I had got an opportunity to present a paper in the Stockholm Metaphor Festival in the year 2013. And my paper was on metaphor and Advaita in Sri Narayana Guru's Devadashakam. And it was actually a much appreciated paper there. And there is a metaphor lab at the University of Amsterdam which stimulates interdisciplinary collaboration, innovation, and application in all areas of metaphor. So the concept of metaphors is thus not simply confined to linguistics alone, but it has entered into fields of psychology, philosophy, cognitive science, the recent new science of cognitive science, even artificial intelligence, education, and so on. So that is the importance of metaphors. Ma'am, can you show the next slide? Next, we will look into some of the definitions of metaphors. See, in chapter 22 of Poetics, Aristotle says the greatest thing by far is to have a command of metaphor, because it is a mark of genius. And to make good metaphors is the ability to see the resemblances in spite of the differences. That is very, very philosophical. And coming to another definition by the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, and when he was asked, when asked what is truth, what is truth, Nietzsche said, truth is a mobile army of metaphors. Truth is a mobile army of metaphors. And what I personally understand from his definition is mobile. The word mobile he used because of the meaning movement. What is truth? Nothing other than movement. Now, because nothing is stable here. Absence of center is there because center itself is changing. So, what is truth? Truth is an army of metaphors. So, it was how Nietzsche defined metaphors. And one more definition, the new cognitive science theory. There's something called cognitive linguistics also, that is connecting human cognitive system or human conceptualization with the way of thinking or the use of language. So the recent cognitive theory of metaphor was put forward by Lecoq and Johnson in their book Metaphors We Live By. And they argued that metaphor is a fundamental cognitive means of comprehending concepts. We understand things because of our metaphorical ability. And human conceptual system in terms of what we think and what we act. We think, we act, we speak because of our brain, because of our conceptual system. And they say that human conceptual system is fundamentally metaphorical in nature. So because it is the way, metaphor is the way through which we comprehend even abstract concepts. This is a very important point. This is where we connect metaphor with Sri Narayana Guru. Guru was trying to tell us what the absolute is, and for that he has used metaphors. And recent cognitive science theory says that, see, we comprehend, human beings, they can comprehend even the abstract concepts using metaphors. Okay, now I'm going to make an analysis of some of the metaphors in two of the poetical works of Sri Narayana Guru. One is Darshanamala and the other is Devadashagam. And before that, about Guru. Okay, Sri Narayana Guru is no doubt the most influential philosopher and social reformer of Kerala. The modern Kerala state is no doubt the contribution of that great visionary Sri Narayana Guru. And Guru led reform movements in Kerala, not only socially but intellectually through his writings as well. And he propagated values of freedom in spirituality and, of course, social equality, and thereby he transformed the society. And Guru is revered, respected for his for his Vedic knowledge, poetic proficiency, and his openness to the views of others, his non-violent philosophy, and his resolve. He tried to set all right all the social wrongs, social evils, and social discriminations. And Sri Narayana Guru was definitely instrumental in setting the spiritual foundations in today's Kerala. And he was one of the successful social reformers who tackled caste issues in India. And Guru stressed the need for the spiritual and social upliftment of the common people by their own efforts. And for that, he has established temples and he has established educational institutions. Now, to say about the literary works of Guru, there are mystical and devotional works, then there are metaphysical writings, then there are social ethical type of writings, then aesthetics as well. Okay, then see, to mention some of the works of Guru, let me say Guru's works in Malayalam. There are 14 works, I think, in Malayalam, which include the famous Advaita Deepika, Anugamba Dashakam, Aruvu, Atmobadesha Shadakam, Deva Dashakam, and regarding the works in Sanskrit, there are 16 works of Guru. in Sanskrit, which include the very famous Brahma Vidya Panchagam and Darshanamala. And there are 3 translation works, including the translation of Ishavasya Upanishad and Tirukural, definitely. And all the literary works, so all these literary works, see, it is fundamentally, if we go through it, we can see that the common factor is nothing but his philosophy of oneness, and for that he has used to convey that philosophy of oneness. What Guru has used, what I personally understand, is that he has used metaphors. And definitely all his literary works are written definitely for educating and enlightening the entire mankind, not for any particular community or anything like that, and for the well-being of the entire mankind. Okay. Ma'am, can you show? Okay, this slide. Now, I'm going to make an analysis of 3 metaphors from the poetical work Darshanamala. And before that, some points about Darshanamala. Darshanamala was one of the last major works of Guru, and it was dictated by Guru in the year 1960. And Guru's own disciple Swami Vidyananda transcribed the dictation and made a short commentary on each verse. And Guru actually dictated Darshanamala, the work, in Sanskrit, but its original publication was in the Malayalam language. And in the year 1949, Guru's own disciple and successor Nadaraj Guru translated Darshanamala into English. And in English, Darshanamala is titled Garlands of Vision. Garlands of Vision, Garland of Visions. So that's the English title of Darshanamala. And Darshanamala is a poem of 100 verses divided into 10 chapters of 10 verses each. Now we'll look into the metaphors in Darshanamala. So the first metaphor I have chosen is as if a dream, everything in the world was created. I have taken 3 metaphors from the first chapter of Darshanamala, and what I found is that all these metaphors are metaphors of creation used by Guru in the first chapter. The first metaphor is as if a dream, everything in the world was created. So what is the meaning of this? What's the meaning of this metaphor? Here, Guru compares the creation of this world as if to a dream. So what is that? How we can compare this world, this material world, to a dream? How can we equate it? How much time you need to experience that there is a world before you? How much time you need to experience that a world is here? We experience that the world comes before us in a flash. Everything is changing. We blink and another world is presented before us. Right now, I am taking a class for you. So I am creating a world for you to see. And after that, I will go and another person will be coming, right? Then another world will be opened before you. Am I right? So right from our birth, when we are awake, the world comes and we see it as one window, and it goes out and another comes. And the gone thing, the past, will remain as a memory with so many other memories clinging to it. And every day becomes what to say, memories. And we add to this the experiences of our ancestors, and we get a fictitious picture of a time flow. Actually, the present moment is the reality, but what happens is our mind connects it with the eternal time, which is believed to have existed or is existing before we came here, or even after we have gone from here. So what Guru tries to say through this metaphor is a mathematical extension of our individual experiences, and gives the world the status of a dream or a projection, or it is only an extension. Okay. So every moment a new world is created. It exists and it disappears. And we are surrounded with so many memories also. That is why Guru has given the metaphor, the world is a dream. Now, coming to the second metaphor. The second metaphor that I have chosen from Darshanamala is the creator is compared to a magician. So here, who is the creator? That's the question. Who is the creator? That's the question. Guru has raised here the question, who is the creator? Is there a creator for this world, or is the creatorhood an imagination? What's it? Okay, we'll accept that there is a grand creator for this world because we believe that we, the ordinary people, we can only move from known to the unknown. So we believe that there is a grand designer or there is a creator for this world, right? So actually the question is there a creator? That's a question raised by Guru through this metaphor. So who is the creator of this world? So what Guru feels is that uh, see what to say the we all are ordinary people, so we always believe that there is a creator, there is a god or something like that. But what I feel is that what Guru was trying to say through this metaphor is that um, see, who is the creator? That's the question. The creator is not an outsider, but it is you yourself. Why? Because what has God created? The creation is the world. And in the previous metaphor, what Guru has told is, if the God has created the world, if a creator has created the world, then what is that world? And that world is only a dream. See, that world is only a dream according to Guru. Then how can there be a creator if the world is only a dream? So we can nullify the creator. How can we nullify ourselves? Because we are the one who is experiencing this world, but we are here, right? We are seeing the world, we are experiencing the world. So who is the creator? If the world is a dream, we are dreaming, we are seeing, then who is the creator? Is it an outsider, or is it we ourselves? We won't recognize that we are the creators. And that is why the creator, that is we ourselves, is metaphorically equated by Guru with a magician, because we won't recognize that we have that power to create things. So the master magician is no one, but it is nothing but our mind itself. It has that power to create. That is what Guru was trying to convey through this. We have some powers within us. We have the ability to create. So that is what Guru was trying to say through this metaphor. That is what I feel. Now, coming to the next metaphor, before the third metaphor that I have taken from Darshanamala is that as if sprout from a seed, as if sprout from a seed. So, in this metaphor, Guru is trying to teach us the power within us. Take a seed, inspect it with a microscope. Is there any magic in it? If we inspect a seed with a microscope, can you see anything magical in it? Nothing. So, what Guru is trying to teach here is the magic is where is the magic in a seed? The magic is you place the seed in the fertile soil, or you plant the seed properly, water it, it grows up. That's the magic. And there is nothing in the tree that was not there in that seed. In that seed. So, what Guru is trying to reveal through this metaphor is,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I think there is a background noise, ma'am. Is it from your side, ma'am? Please do check it, ma'am.
No, I don't think it's from my side, madam.
Okay, ma'am. Dear participants, please do listen. Kindly mute the audio during the session so that there will not be any disturbance. Thank you. Ma'am, please continue, ma'am.
So, what Guru was trying to reveal through this metaphor is all about the inner principle or the inner power which is hidden in everything. Even all the educational theories of the East and the West says, what's education? It is not something that is that has to be put into the minds of students. It is something that has to be taken out from them. Education is the process of taking out, drawing out. So because the power is within us, and our role as teachers is to provide whatever is required to bring out that talents, right? So that was what Guru was trying to say through the metaphors in Darshanamala. Now we'll look into the metaphors in Devadashakam. Yes, Devadashakam is a prayer written by Guru in Malayalam, and it is at once considered as a song and a science because it contains the entire philosophy of oneness of Guru, the Devadashakam. And I have included 4 metaphors from Devadashakam here. First, ma'am, can you show the next slide? The first, ma'am, can you show the next slide? Next one, next slide. Yes, yes. The first metaphor that I have taken from Devadashakam is mind is the eye. Mind is the eye. So here Guru compares the human mind with eye. So what's the relationship here? What's the connection between mind and eyes? If an object is there in front of me, see, if an object is there in front of me, and when I look at that object, am I really seeing that object? No, I'm seeing only the image or the reflection of the light from that object, isn't it? This is what physics is. We are not actually seeing that object. We are seeing only the reflection of the light from that object. So who is really seeing? Is it our eyes? No, we can only see an image of the object. And where is this image coming? Where is this image coming? The image appears in our mind and we see it and not the object, right? Actually, the mind or manas functions from behind. It functions from behind and it helps us to see. And what is experienced by the individual self is drishya, or the images we see through the eyes. Eyes are drik. So we see images through eyes, and one search, if you search for the reality behind what you have seen, finally leads you to the all-knowing supreme eye that makes us see. This, according to Guru, if the eye is the drishya, then manas, mind, is the drik. So that is what he was trying to convey through that metaphor. Now, coming to the next metaphor, like the sea, the waves, the wind, and the depth are ourselves, Maya, your glory, and you. So this is the second metaphor I have taken from Devadeshagam. Here, Guru gives a metaphorical equation. The sea is metaphorically equated with the created beings. See, the sea is connected with, it's metaphorically connected with the beings, the creation, the created beings, because it is existing. We are existing, we human being. We are the product of that creation. It is real. Now, second metaphor is the waves are compared to Maya because it will come and go. Waves will come and go, and the wind that is directly responsible for producing waves in the sea is equated with the creator's power to generate. See, the power to generate. And the depth of the ocean is metaphorically equated with the power of the creator. The latent power is so deeply hidden within us. So if through education, if we are trying to bring out the talents, we can create miracles in this world, right? Although each individual has a definite birth and death, the coming and going of individuals does not change the general course of creation. See, it won't affect the entire system. Just like the coming and going of waves will not affect the existence of the sea. And this is what Guru was trying to convey. And the stream of creation will continue irrespective of the events that is happening in the world. In this respect, according to Guru, there is no difference between the relationship of the wave to the sea and the relationship of any created being to the process of creation as a whole. This is what Guru was trying to say through this metaphor, like the sea, the waves, the wind, and the depth are ourselves, Maya, your glory, and you. Now, coming to the next metaphor, here Guru says, you are the creation and the creator and the universe of created thing. So I have used the English translation. Niyalo Srishtim, that's the Malayalam. You all might be knowing the Malayalam. So I've used example from the translated version. The third metaphor is you are the creation, the creator, and the universe of created thing. Here, what Guru tries to say through this metaphor is that there is a cosmic order for everything. It is a cosmic system which with many systems within system. We can see perfect order and a meaningful arrangement of things in this universe, from the minutest energy particle to the largest interstellar bodies. There is an order. Even from the subtle parts of our human mind to the giant physical bodies, from bacteria to blue whale, there is an order. If something is changing or moving, the dynamics of that change itself is a reality in this universe. So, in short, through this metaphor, Guru tries to say that the act of creation, the creator, the things created, and the substance of creation are all the different functional modes of one and the same energy. Okay. Now, coming to the next, the last metaphor that I have included here. The last one, the fourth metaphor. So, you are truth, knowledge, and happiness. You are the present, the past, and the future. And even the spoken words are nothing but you. So, Guru equates the Almighty, the Creator, with truth, knowledge, and happiness. So what is happiness? What is truth? What is knowledge? It is you yourself. He goes on comparing the reality or the absolute truth with the present, the past, and the future. And he says the spoken words are nothing but reality itself. So the one all comprehending consciousness, the one all comprehending, the all knower, or in Malayalam we call it as Sarvavyapi, is what is conceived here by Guru through his metaphors. Through this metaphor, who is that absolute? It is nothing but knowledge itself. It is the present. Every event that has already happened in the past and every event yet to happen, it hides in the future. Everything is connected. What was in the past, what was in the past, it extends it extends backwards endlessly. There is an endless backward or past we have. Likewise, what hides in the future also stretches endlessly to the unknown. So everything is connected, related. And Guru finally uses the metaphors, the spoken word, language. Even language is nothing but that ultimate truth. So how finally how Guru is trying to connect language with philosophy. See, no word is existing without a meaning, and no meaning is a meaning without a word to signify it. The two always are thus inseparably one. Just as everything phenomenal appears from one ultimate reality, all the words of all the languages are also thought as the various manifest forms of one single word, which is manifested as Om sound in Indian philosophy. See, the Upanishads then goes on to say that whatever was in the past, whatever is in the present, whatever will be the future are nothing but Om. This is what our Vedas are saying. They connect it with the spoken word, the sound Om. Languages and words are devices we use, we created by actually words are created by human minds to give expression to what they feel within. See, this creative urge in humans assumes the form of words that they use to convey ideas and feelings. So human beings, we enjoy, we find pleasure, we find joy in expressing ourselves through words and in creating a world of words. So in this metaphor, Guru finally speaks of language, and he is comparing the language or the spoken word with the ultimate reality. Maybe because Guru might have realized that it is with the same medium of language that Guru is also able to convey the ultimate truth with his discipline. So how can he conclude without saying about language? And all postmodern theories, linguistic theories, assert that language is fundamentally metaphorical in nature. And a critical analysis of the poetic works of Guru reveals that it is a continuous play of metaphors, hiding with it, hiding sometimes it is hiding itself within it, the philosophy of oneness, language, metaphors, and oneness, Advaita. We can connect it. Now, coming to the concluding part of my presentation here, how we can connect metaphor with Advaita, seeing metaphor as Advaita. That is what, as a conclusion, I want to say. Both in metaphor and in Advaita, language is a participant. Language is there. Metaphor in language and Advaita in philosophy, they dispel. There's no duality. But there is neither no complete identity or complete difference, but it makes, or through metaphors, all multiplicities can be explained in terms of the principle of comparison. And whether it is metaphor in language or whether it is Advaita in philosophy, they signify nothing but unity amid diversities. Okay. Thank you. These are my thoughts on Sri Narayana philosophy. Metaphors are Advaita, nothing other than that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for such an elaborative session on metaverse and the philosophies of metaphor by great philosophers. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really enhancing our knowledge. We learned a lot about the various metaphors which were used by Guru in his poetical works.
Welcome. Thank you for the talk, ma'am. You can still remain to the evening, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay.
Now the session is open for questions and answers. Participants having any queries related to the speech or the session that is given by Preeta ma'am can post your queries either in the chat box or you can directly unmute the audio and ask ma'am. If there are no questions from your side, we can move to Photoshop.
Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am.
No, I have no question, but I would like to make one clarification.
Yes, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
It is one metaphor from Darshanamala. You know, we are the audience watching the magic. So we don't know the secret of magic, and we are enjoying the magic. That's all. If you came to know the secret of magic, you can't enjoy the magic. So likewise, the world is we are in Maya. This is the metaphor. I would only just clarification for that, not question. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, that's right. There is a natural limitation for everything. A tree cannot grow into the sky, right? So we are actually ignorant of all this magical things happening around us. So that is why our life is very exciting and interesting. Something is actually hidden somewhere in the universe. Thank you, ma'am.
Madam, one question. Actually, it's a very philosophical speech, which we want to understand everything what you have spoken. It's we must have some more knowledge to understand all those these philosophical concepts and everything. And Madam Sridhar Madam said it's a Maya, and you said it's the world is created. It's an imaginary one. It's for a magical one. No creator. And that concept is, I have a doubt that, are you sure that there is no creator in this world? The world created by nobody?
No, sir, there are two dimensions for that. In Darshanamala, in one of the metaphors that I have taken, I've made a psychological analysis. I have referred Nadaraja Guru's book on the psychology of Darshanamala. That's a psychological analysis of the interpretation of metaphor there. But if we see the example of metaphors from Devadashakam, we can understand that definitely there is an order. There is an order. Even Einstein has said, Deva avade irunnu pagada kalikkayalla. There's an order for everything. There's mathematics behind everything. Guru is asserting that also. But at the same time, he was trying to enlighten the minds, encourage the people to come out from these chains. You have that power. And that's why I think in the psychology of Darshanamala, Nadaraja Guru tried to see it from the view of psychology. So you are the creator, means you have that power to create, to bring change in the society. That's only one dimension of interpreting that. But if you take the example of, see, Devadashagam, ma'am is there, Sugita ma'am is there. So if we take examples of many other literal works of Guru, we can see there is a power which controls everything, no doubt. I also personally believe in that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That's what I'm telling, that because there's a creator, and those who are not having a belief on God, they may say that it's a nature. Everything is created by nature, and we can say that nature is a God. We can accept. We can go with the acceptance of nature as a God, and without
Yes,
the higher
sure.
supreme authority, without the supreme authority of making us or creating everything in this world, but we don't have any hope to live.
Yes.
And God has given everything, all the powers. What you said, all the power is given. We are the creator. Once the God has created everything and handed over all the things to the human being. Now the human beings have created many things, all the scientific advancement and everything we are creating. No, so I'm not controversial to your topic, but actually I'm supporting.
Yes, I
And
understand.
I'm understanding that there is a creator, and of course, whatever we are seeing in our naked eye, it's all Maya. That I agree. Okay. Right. Thank you, ma'am.
Sir.
Thank
Thank you.
you. It's a wonderful topic.
What
Okay,
you have said is really right. Yes, I also agree with that, sir. Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you, Preeta ma'am. Thank you, Sugita ma'am, for adding a point to what ma'am has said. Dear participants, it's time to take a photo. You are requested to turn on the video mode for a second. We'll take a snap, please. Thank you all. Moving on to the second session of the third day conference on the life and teachings of Sri Narayana Guru, I would like to invite Ms. Queen Shantana Mary of Business Faculty of Business Administration to introduce the respectful guest, Dr. Sugita.
Thank you, ma'am. Education is a passport to the future. The tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it. I'm profusely overjoyed to take the opportunity to introduce our chief guest of the day, Dr. B. Sujita, Director, International Center for Sri Narayana Guru Studies, Government of Kerala. She is also a close friend of Narayana Guru movement. She holds a PG from the University of Kerala and a PhD from the University of Calicut. She has worked as lecturer in Sri Shankaracharya Sanskrit University, Calicut Providence, Women's College, and Sri Narayana Guru College, Chempalanthi, Thiruvananthapuram. She also served as a senior research officer at the State Institute of Languages under the Government of Kerala. She has presented papers at national and international seminars and authored several books on Guru Darshan. Notable are the Narayana Guru's Economic Vision, Narayana Guru's Environmental Vision, Narayana Guru's Life Vision, Narayana Guru's Democratic Vision, Advaitinte Riduvedangal, Guru Vali, published by the State Institute of Languages. She has published 2 biographies about Balagangadhara Tilakan and Swadesha Bhimani Ramakrishna Pillai. She has published numerous articles on Sri Narayana Guru and Guru Darshan in periodicals such as Kala Kaumudi, Mathrubhumi, Kerala Kaumudi, Yoganadam, Guru Ratnam, Guru Kulam, Guru Devan, Guru Vikshanam, Piravi, and Vijnana Kairali and Oneness. I once again welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you. Respected delegates and dear friends, a very good morning to you all. I'm going to, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to present a paper related to ontological and axiological vision in Brahma Vidya Panchakam, a Sanskrit work written by Sri Narayana Guru. First of all, let me read the poem. This poem is written in Sanskrit, Brahma Vidya Panchakam. Nitya vivegado hi nidaram nirvedamapadya sad vidwanatra shamadishtagalasida Syanmuktigamo bhuvi pachad brahma viduttamam pranadi sevadye prasannam gurum prichet ohamidam kudo jagadidi swamin vadattum prabhu Tvam hi brahma na chendriyani na manobuddhir na chittam babuhu pranahangridayo anyadapya sadavidya sad avidya kalpidam swatmani sarvam drishyadaya jadam jagadidam totvaparam nanyado jadam Naswada eva bhadi mrigadrishnabham deri drisyatam vyaptam yena characharam khadasharavadiva mritsataya yasyandaspuridam yadatmagamidam jadam yedo vartade Yasmin yat pralayebi satkhanamajam sarvam yadanveditat satyam vidyamridaya നിർമ്മലധിയോ യസ്മൈ നമസ്കുർവതേ സൃഷ്ടേദം പ്രകൃതേരനുപ്രവിശതി ഏയം യയാധാര്യതേ പ്രാണീതി പ്രവിവിക്തഭുക് ബഹിരഹം പ്രാജ്ഞ സുഷുപ്തൗ യതഃ യസ്യാമാത്മകലാ സ്ഫുരത്യഹമിതി പ്രത്യന്തരംഗം ജനൈർ യസ്യൈ സ്വസ്തി സമർത്ഥ്യതേ പ്രതിപദാ പൂർണ്ണ ശൃണു ത്വം ഹി സാ പ്രജ്ഞാനം ത്വഹമസ്മി തത്വമസി തദ്ബ്രഹ്മായമാത്മേതി സംഗായൻ വിപ്രചര പ്രശാന്തമനസാ ത്വം ബ്രഹ്മബോധോദയാത് പ്രാരാബ്ധ്വം ക്വനു സഞ്ചിതം തവ കിമാഗാമി കോ കർമാപ്യസത് ത്വയ്യധ്യസ്ഥമോദകൂലം അഖിലം ത്വമസി സച്ചിന്മാത്രമേകം വിഭുഃ. This is the 5 verses in Brahmavidya Panchakam. Let me go on to the paper. Narayana Guru, in his Brahmavidya Panchakam, condenses the essential content of Vedanta in 5 verses. Vedanta was introduced by Guru here is not merely meant for a doctrinal understanding. It is about how one can visualize for oneself the reality that manifests as oneself. How to become fully convinced the reality. Now, the word reality, I'm saying the word reality represents the ultimate truth or the absolute, the ultimate truth. So it is about how one can visualize for oneself the reality that manifests as oneself. How to become fully convinced the reality in essence is but unconditioned consciousness, and how the seer of that reality perceives himself as a functional modulation of it. Seeing this reality alone as a functionally existing even in the minutest of all aspects of life makes one's own life an unbroken stream of happiness. The word Brahman, translatable as the absolute, is derived from the verb root brih, brih meaning to grow. The word thus signifies the inconceivable, unconditional reality that unfolds itself incessantly as all conditional forms, both conceivable and perceivable, in all the worlds. The one invisible reality is poetically imagined as growing into all the multitudinous visible forms. Whatever be the extensiveness we can conceive, it transcends the bounds of all such conceptualizations. That reality in essence is pure consciousness. The nature of this consciousness reality is pictured by Guru in his work Arivu thus. The being of consciousness is all-inclusive plenitude. Then where else can exist anything that is not consciousness? In Malayalam, അറിവിനു നിറവുണ്ടെന്നാൽ അറിവല്ലാതുള്ളതെങ്ങിരുന്നീടും അറിവേദം നിങ്ങതുപോയി അറിയുന്നെങ്ങിന്നിതെങ്ങിരുന്നിടും. That is to say, what is supposed to be non-consciousness also has its being necessarily in consciousness. Thus, nothing outside the plenitude of consciousness. This work adopts the format of a dialogue. It is a dialogue between a guru and a shishya. In the first verse, the shishya raises two fundamental problems that all philosophy seeks to find an answer to. That is, who am I and from where did this world originate? These are the two questions all philosophy seeks to find an answer to. Here, Shishya asks two questions to the Guru. In the second verse, Guru directly answers the first question. What was the first question? Who am I? And Guru directly said by saying, you are Brahman indeed. Again, he clarifies, you are not the senses, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect, you are not the storehouse of knowledge, you are not the physical body, you are not the functional vitality, and you are not the eye sense, you are not anything else. And proceeding to say that, which is beyond all these, that is Atma. The potential in the Lord or Brahman to cause the error universally that we have discussed in the last session. The potential in the Lord or Brahman to cause error universally, we can call it as Maya, and individually, that is Avidya. This Maya and Avidya has no beginning and no end, because it vanishes just one becomes enlightened. If you are enlightened, the moment Maya vanishes from you, Avidya vanishes from you. So everything is an illusory appearance caused by this Maya or Avidya. And so are our wrong understandings. I am the body, I am the senses, I am the prana, I am the mind, I am the knowledge, and the like. All such appearances and notions are unreal or asat, and this are to be understood as anatma, not self. Anatma, thus, is the dialectical counterpart of Atma. All these are just superimposed on Atma. This world does not and cannot have existence of its own. Its appearance is like that of water in mirror. The truth is to be properly and intensively perceived by you. One who perceives this reality sees oneself in all the beings and all the beings in oneself. This is what is indicates in Ishavasya Upanishad, that is Sarva Bhudavum Atmavil, Atmavinayum Angani. Guru's direct answer pacifies the disciples to a great extent. Actually he was confused. Who am I? Then Guru, without explaining anything, he directly said, you are Brahman. So it pacifies the Shishya to a great extent. He immediately becomes free of all fears that he or she had harbored so far concerning life and its problems. No one in fear can be taught properly. Fear arises from the notion that I, the person who fears, is different from the world, makes me frightened. This notion is rooted out by the assuring words, you are Brahman indeed. The individual being does not exist separate from the total being signified by the word Brahman. So this is the answer to the second question. One who perceives the reality sees oneself in all the beings and all the beings in oneself. With this assurance gain, one's inner agony as well as one's confused state of mind become calm. Hence, the word Brahman signifies the one all-pervading reality that assumes the form of everything, both physical and mental. Brahman is the one substance that ceaselessly is in the process of assuming new forms and involving eventual of destruction to be replaced by the newer ones. As substance, Brahman is understood as Sat. Sat means the existence. This substance being consciousness in essence, it is thought of as Chit. The ultimate benefit realizing this reality in one's supreme happiness and absolute freedom experienced in consciousness as existing or Sat. So the first question, who am I, arises when looking at the reality from the subjective perspective. The second question arises from the objective perspective. Who am I? The question, who am I, arises from subjective perspective, and the second question, how did this word originate, arises from the objective perspective. This reality is neither subjective nor objective, and is to be understood or rather realized not as an object to be known. All objective knowledges have implied in them the subject-object duality. But realizing Brahman is not a knowledge of Brahman as an object we can know of, but it is the experiential awareness of the subject becoming fully merged in the reality of Brahman, of realizing Brahman as the being of oneself or the self. Brahman thus is Atma, and Atma is Brahman. So it is this dialectical unity that the sentence has, the sentence Tom hi Brahma has implicit in it. So in the individual sense, we can say the reality is Atma, and in the universal sense, we can say the reality is Brahma. So Brahma and Atma, it is the dialectical unity, that is Tom hi Brahma. Our individual existence or the existence of the world, when directly experienced by us, is not at all divided into mind and matter or subject and object. These dual notions arise only when we think about what we experience. These dualities are mere constraints of our intellect. And this intellect, what is this intellect? In the context of search for reality is merely a minute functional mode of what we search for. So by using this intellect, we search to find out the reality, and it is this intellect by which we are trying to find out is the functional mode of that reality. This is why the seers repeatedly remind us. So gurus repeatedly remind us that the ultimate reality is incomprehensible to the intellect. How this duality could be transcended? By resorting to the dialectical method that transcends logical reasoning is portrayed by Narayana Guru in Atmopadesha Shatakam. There is countless are the particles of dust that constitutes the earth, and the earth that exists in and through the particles has no different being either. Likewise, matter merges in the being of mind and mind in the material bodies. The two thus becomes revealed to be one in essence when contemplatively perceived. And the verse is in Malayalam, the verse is Podiyoru bhuvil asangyam appodikkulpedumoru bhuvithinilla ഭിന്നഭാവം ജഡമമരുന്നതുപോലെ ചിത്തിലും ചിത്തുടലിലും ഇങ്ങിതിനാൽ ഇതോർക്കിൽ ഏകം. The Guru teaches the disciple, you are the reality beyond the duality of mind and matters, and Atma and Brahman is inseparably one. Atma or Brahman is existence, is Sat in essence, and consciousness or Chit in essence, and value experience or Ananda in essence, or Sat Chit Ananda Sachidananda. So let us go to the verse 3. In verse 3 perceives everything as Sat or existence. The same Sat in essence is seen as unconditional consciousness, or it is in the fourth verse, this is represented by the word Pradipat. In the fourth verse, it may be easy to conceive a substance that underlines the being of everything, a substance that underlies the being of everything living and non-living. But how does the substance function consciously as to manifest itself as a well-structured world? How this substance functions as a well-structured world? Everything is in a systematic way. How this functions, how this is happened. How do different functions take place in human being at different states of waking, dreaming, and day sleep, etc., etc. The one answer to both these questions is that Sat or existing reality, which is pure unconditional consciousness. In Sanskrit, we can say Pradipat or Chit. It is this Pradipat that functions consciously everywhere. And this fourth verse ends with the master's instruction to the disciple. Guru gave an instruction to the disciple. So in the second verse, Guru said, you are Brahman itself. And in the fourth verse, Guru gave a suggestion or gave an instruction to the disciple by saying the word, you are that Pradipat or Chit. You are that Pradipada or Chit or consciousness. So this Pradipat becomes understandable in its conditioned forms as causes and effects. So everything in the world is causes and effects are happens, it is because of the pure Pradipada. Even the thirst in you or the urge in you, the thirst in you for knowing the real is none other than a minute element of the manifest form of the very same reality or Pradipat you are in search of. This Guru taught the disciple the non-duality of the individual selves and Brahman, or of the knowing consciousness and the non-consciousness. or we can rightly say it as Brahmatma Aikya. This is the sum total of the 5 verses of Brahma Vidya Panchagam, which is written in Sanskrit, and it is very, it will take more time to describe every word. So I have condensed it very simply in these words. And now let us go to the axiological parts of studying this Brahma Vidya Panchakam, or having this knowledge. What is the use of studying all these things? What is the use of finding out who am I, and what is the secret of nature and all these things? Is there any benefit for this? We are discussing all these things for 3 days. Is there any benefit for that? And let us find out, or let us see. So in the last verse of Brahma Vidya Panchagam, Guru said, with a properly calmed mind, resulting from the dawning of Brahman wisdom, you may move around properly. You can walk freely. You may move around properly in all specific ways, joyfully singing. You can face the life by joyfully singing. Pure consciousness, indeed I am. I and you also are that. ഞാനും നിങ്ങളുമൊക്കെ ആ പ്യുവർ കോൺഷ്യസ്നസ് തന്നെയാണ് എന്ന് പാടിക്കൊണ്ട് പ്രശാന്ത മനസ്സരായി ഇങ്ങനെ പാടി നടക്കാം. നമുക്ക് പാടി അത്രയും ഹാപ്പിനെസ്സോടുകൂടി we can approach the life. This Atma is indeed that Brahman. How could there be for you then the bondage of karma? Now we have, if you get the knowledge, if you are enlightened, you have no karmas. You have no karmas like Prarabdha karma or Sanjita karma or Agami karma. I'm not explaining all these things. And you have no karma around. But you will do karmas, but it is not your karma. Karma is itself unreal. All such, therefore, are simply conditionings. All are conditionings superimposed on the Atma that you really are. You are really are Vibhu. Vibhu means the one Lord is whom abide all beginnings. You are Vibhu in essence or Sat-Chit. See, in verse 2, Brahman was pictured as the underlying substance in one's own being. In verse 3, emphasis was given to the Sat, that existence aspect of Brahman. In verse 4, the Chit or Pratipad or consciousness aspect was underscored. So in the concluding verse, the same Brahman is portrayed by Narayana Guru as the realized reality or supreme happiness of the disciple. Along with it, Guru lays where the inner secrets of the Mahakavyas that encloses within them that core of Vedantic wisdom. Realizing that all karmas are not real, one becomes released from the bondage released from the bondage caused by them. Realizing one's identity with the ultimate reality that underlies the being of everything makes the ultimate limit in experiencing happiness. So, if you realize your identity with the ultimate reality that underlies the being of everything makes the ultimate limit in experiencing happiness, then you can, your relation with other people will change. Your approach to the society will change. Your thinking will change. Everything will change. always you can experience happiness in your life. This now let us go to the Mahavakyas. Mahavakyas Tattvamasi is in the form of an instruction given by the Guru to his disciples. So hence we can rightly can say it is an Upadesha Vakya. Tattvamasi is an Upadesha Vakya. The disciple, upon learning the instruction, sits alone and contemplates and meditates. Meditates on Tattvamasi. Then he will came to know that I am Atma Brahma. So while meditating Tattvamasi, he will come to the conclusion that I am Atma Brahma. For this reason, the dictum is considered. So we can say I am Atma Brahma is Manana Vakya. So Tattvamasi is Upadesha Vakya. And by meditating on Tattvamasi, we will come to the conclusion that I am Atma Brahma. Then we can say it is Manana Vakya. This contemplation and meditation attain fulfillment in the realization Aham Brahmasmi. And hence this dictum can be termed as 1 minute. Swarupa Vakya. No, Sakshatkara Vakya. This dictum can be termed as Sakshatkara Vakya. So the essential content of the realization is made clear in the dictum Prajnanam Brahma. So this is a Prajnanam Brahma is Swarupa Vakya. So in these Mahavakyas, one is Upadesha Vakya, and the other is Manana Vakya, and Sakshatkara Vakya, and Swarupa Vakya. So we can see. So the disciple, upon learning the instructions, so the rishis who authored the Upanishads suggest that what Vedanta ultimately teaches is the oneness. So like this, Gurus in the last presenter has made that Gurus, all his works lead to oneness. So here Vedanta ultimately teaches is the oneness in essential content of both the individuated self and the universal self. That means the universal self and the individual self, whether conceived as the first person, second person, third person, or as impersonal, have a common content. And in that content, which is unconditional consciousness, the two find oneness. This oneness is not merely an intellectual understanding. You can't find it out with your intellect. It is not an intellectual understanding, but is the direct experience of one's own oneness with the one reality. It's experiential one. This experience, this anubhudhigam, we can say anubhudhigam. A unitive understanding is needed, but is the direct experience of one's own oneness with the one reality. This experience transforms, that is the axiological part. This experience transforms one's life into that of Brahman or Satchit Ananda in essence, and no longer of the individual. One's own life is this experienced as an everlasting flow of Satchit Ananda song, as is evident from the Guru's words that ask the disciple to move around properly in all specific ways, joyfully singing. I am pure consciousness indeed. So with these words, let me stop and let us have a discussion. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really an enlightening session that you beautifully explained how Guru's literary works are rich in the concept of oneness and his perspective of Advaita philosophy and all that. It was really, we learned a lot of new insights about all these things, ma'am. And you beautifully recited or quoted the Malayalam verses too. So we enjoyed it and we learned a lot thoroughly, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, our participants, if you have any queries, you are welcome to ask ma'am. You can either type in the box, chat box, or you can ask. Ma'am, if there are no questions, shall we move on to the photo shot? Ma'am?
Okay. Okay.
I hope there are no questions because no one has either typed or started talking. So I think we'll go for that, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Dear participants, please be kind enough to turn on the video mode for one more snap. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Now it's time to happily shift to the next session. To begin this session, I would like to invite Dr. M.A. Rati, Assistant Professor of Biochemistry, to introduce the distinguished guest, Dr. Suraj Babu. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Sukanya. Yeah, very good afternoon to one and all present here. It's a great honor for me to introduce the eminent speaker of day 3 session of our international conference on life and teaching of Sri Narayana Guru, Dr. Swaraj Babu, retired principal, S&M Training College, Ernakulam, Kerala. Dr. P.V. Suraj sir has a teaching and research experience of about more than 45 years and served as a principal for about 28 years. Sir has done a lot of research work on the teaching and preachings of Sri Narayana Gurudevan. Sir also served as a member in Board of Studies of MG University, Kottayam. Added to his credit, Sir has published research articles in journals, conference proceedings, and also published four books on English grammar and one book in psychology. Dr. Sorry for the inconvenience. Dr. Swaraj sir has delivered talks in national and international conference. Such an eminent personality is with us and the participants here are very eager to hear his talk on Sri Narayana Guru's concept of values. Thank you, sir.
Now I request Dr. Suraj Babu sir to kindly take over the session. Please, sir. Sir, please unmute the audio, sir.
Hello, Suraj sir.
Okay.
Sir, please, okay. Now I can able to hear your voice, sir. But we
Can you
can't
hear
able
me?
to see you, sir. Your face is not visible, sir. Please keep your phone in landscape position, sir. We couldn't able to see your face.
Okay.
Sir, we couldn't see your face. Sir, now can you able to see? Yeah, sir. Now it's okay, sir. It's okay. Sir, Suraj sir. Sir, please come in video mode, sir.
Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
Can you see? Okay.
Yeah, sir, but our face is not that much visible, sir. You can move the phone backward, sir. You can move the phone to backward, sir. Yes. Now it's okay.
Can you
Sir,
see
okay,
me?
sir. Now it's okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you
It's
see
okay.
me?
Okay, sir. Yes, I can see you, sir.
Sir, now it's perfect. Please do begin, sir. Please unmute the mic, sir. Yeah. Now it's fine, sir. Sir, please unmute the audio, sir. Ah. Sir,
Hello, Suraj, sir. Sir, you can unmute your mic, sir. You unmute your microphone, sir. Just click your phone, microphone. Sir, just touch your microphone.
Please wait. Please wait.
Yes. Now it's okay, sir. Now it's okay.
Huh?
Sir, you can proceed, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, you can proceed, sir.
Not clear. Your voice is not clear, madam.
Sir, ipo okay ആണ്. Sir, ipo okay ആണ്. Sir, you can start, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, proceed, sir. It's okay. Sir, again mic mute ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്, sir. Sir പറയുന്നത് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല. സ്വരാജ് sir, sir പറയുന്നത് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല. ആ മൈക്ക് sir മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്.
Dear participants, sorry for the inconvenience caused. You are requested to wait for 5 more minutes.
Sir. Sorry. Sir, Suraj sir. ഇത് കട്ടായിരിച്ചു സാറേ കാണുന്നുണ്ട് ക്യാമറ തിരിച്ചു വെക്കണം സാർ
Can you hear now?
Yes ma'am, we can hear but you can madam mobile phone സാറിനെ ഫേസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന പോലെ വെക്കണം madam now it's okay light adjustment yes now you can sit sir yes sir sir it is not we cannot hear you you just unmute the mic sir there is a mic
ഇതാ അത് മ്യൂട്ട് ആയി പോയിനോണ്ടാ
ഇപ്പൊ അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ഇപ്പൊ കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട് സർ കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട് yes we can see we can hear
okay let it go on
കുറച്ച് സാറേ കുറച്ച് ആ ക്യാമറ കുറച്ച് സാറേ സാറിന്റെ മുഖം മുഴുവൻ കാണുന്നില്ല ഇപ്പൊ ഓക്കെ സാർ ഓക്കെ സാർ കാണുന്നുണ്ട് യെസ് സാർ ഓക്കെ സാർ കാണുന്നുണ്ട് സാർ
I don't know. There is a brain fog. Okay.
Yes sir.
Good morning, friends. My topic is the Guru's concept of
sir mute ആയി സാറിന്റെ മൈക്ക് മ്യൂട്ട് ആയി സാർ ഇപ്പൊ ഓക്കെ sir.
Every day we use the term values. We talk about values. This very clearly shows values are very, very important in our lives. Values are people have about what's right and wrong and what's most important in life, which control their life. Our Guru, Srinarayan Guru, talks about certain very important values. I am very sure if we follow these values in our lives will be very happy and beautiful. The sad thing is, we don't follow these values in our actual lives.
Sir, mute ആയി sir. Sir, sorry for the interruption. Sir, touch ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല sir. അല്ലല്ല കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല sir. മൈക്കിന്റെ സിമ്പിൾ ഇല്ല sir.
I didn't touch.
Okay, yes. Now it's okay.
I didn't touch. Ahimsa. We know what ahimsa is. Ahimsa is not, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Not do, pardon? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, fine.
Then ahimsa means not doing any harm to the mind, body, and soul of a living being. We should not, the Guru says, we should not hurt the body of a person, the mind of a person, the soul of a person, even by thoughts and words. We have no right to wound the minds of others, to wound, to hurt the bodies of others. Our beautiful life rests in this ahimsa. All dharmas are founded on ahimsa. All adharmas rest in himsa. If a person follows this principle, follows this value in his life will be beautiful. He will have happiness. He will have answer. He will have peace of mind. Another value is telling the truth. The Guru says, we should always tell the truth. What's truth according to the Guru? Truth is eternal oneness or Brahma. Truth is eternal, is permanent, is not transient. We should never tell lies. It is against our conscience. Everybody has got conscience. If a person tells lies, it means he says certain things against his conscience. A person who always tells the truth is a yogi or a saint, according to the Guru. He can predict many things. Such a person, the Guru says very forcefully, a person who always tells the truth will be a yogi or a saint. He can predict certain things. His predictions will come true. 3, not stealing others' wealth. We should never steal the wealth of others. We have to follow the principle of care in our lives. The Guru says we can receive gifts from others. It's not stealing. There should be no stealing, even by thoughts or words. We have to refrain ourselves from this ugly, from this very bad habit of stealing. This stealing is also against conscience. God will never like such persons. Refrain from committing adultery. Adultery is a sin. Look at it to have sexual pleasures. We should not talk to her. We should not mingle with her with the desire to have sexual pleasures. When we talk to a woman, when we look at a woman, when we mingle with a woman, our minds must be pure. This bad behavior, that means looking at a woman, talking to a woman, mingling with a woman with the desire to have sexual pleasures, is prostitution. Prostitution is not good. A person has got his own status, his own position in society. Prostitution brings about many bad things in his life. He loses his position. He loses his prestige. He loses his status in society. Everybody begins to hate him. His father, mother, wife, and children hate him. Even the community begins to hate him. So, a person has to refrain himself from committing adultery. Refrain from consuming alcohol. We know alcohol is a poison. The Guru says we should never consume alcohol. We should not make alcohol. We should not drink alcohol. We should not consume alcohol. We should not store alcohol. We should not sell it. Toddy, tobacco, ganja, etc. are intoxicants They are poisons. The person who consumes these intoxicants will become mad. His brain will be destroyed. He will be attacked by different diseases. For example, liver cirrhosis. This alcohol adversely affects his body. The whole body will be affected. Even his society will reject him. There will be no proper atmosphere at home. Such a person, a drunkard, destroys the peace of mind of others. The whole atmosphere gets distorted. Children cannot lead a very happy life with him. All begin to hate him. Hence, no person should take alcohol. Besides these values, the Guru talks about some other very important values. He talks about 5 kinds of purity. The purity of the body. If this principle, if this value is not followed in our lives, what will happen? We know about COVID. If the body is not pure, what happens? He will be attacked by different infectious diseases, different kinds of diseases. The Guru says, the person must take a bath every day, daily, in good water. His hands, his nails, etc., etc., have to be cleaned. In other words, there must be cleanliness. Such a person will be liked by all. All begin to like such a person. And what about the body? Not only the, what about the mind? Not only the body, but the mind. The mind has to be cleaned. The mind must be pure. If the mind is not pure, what will happen? His thinking will be impure. His words will be impure. His actions will be impure. Everything will be impure. The house in which he lives must be pure, must be clean, must be neat. Things have to be removed from the house. There should be no decayed thing in his house. Everything has to be cleaned. At the dawn and at the dusk, perfumes have to be burnt. The person has to eat good food. He is expected to drink good water. The other value is the use of good words. Words are more powerful than weapons. The Guru says, a person is to use sweet words, good words, which happens to others. If he use good words, if he use attractive words, if he use sweet words, what happens? We will have good friends. Bad words hurt the minds of others. Wound the minds of others. Instead of friends, there will be enemies. If a person always uses ugly words, bad words, what will happen? He will not be happy. He will not have peace of mind. His life will be a tragedy. In order to make others happy, the person is expected to use good words, attractive words, sweet words. Once words are used, they cannot be withdrawn. That's the problem. If the body is wounded, it can be treated. What about words? No treatment. Once a wound is made in the heart of another person, it is permanent. It will be there. The purity of the senses. We know we are laymen. Our lives depend upon the use of our sense organs. We are mad after sense organs. We should never be slaves of these sense organs. We must be their masters. The Guru says, if we become the slaves of sense organs, what happens? These sense organs will begin to control our lives. We should never allow these sense organs to control us. We must be their masters. As I already said, the purity of the mind. The mind must be pure. If the mind of the person is pure, if there are no ugly things in his mind, what happens? As I already said, his thinking will be good. His thoughts will be good. When he thinks, what happens? He will have many ideas, new ideas. New ideas emerge. And these ideas will be pure, good. Such a person can practice, can follow the words of his pure mind in his actual life. That means his thinking will be pure, his words will be pure, his actions will be pure. Such a person lives in the hearts of others. His actions will be good. In his mind, there will be good emotions. Guru gives importance to certain positive emotions. We know there are two kinds of emotions, positive emotions and negative emotions. Mercy, kindness, love, sympathy, empathy, etc. are positive emotions. Jealousy, hatred, etc. negative emotions. In the mind of a good person, these positive emotions live. We can see these positive emotions in the mind of a good person. Such a person can love anybody, any religion. There will be no discrimination on his part. The Guru says, if a person doesn't possess sympathy, Arul, Anukamba, etc. He is not a human being. It is these values, it is these good qualities, it is these positive emotions which produce a human being. In a human being, we can observe all these things. If a person doesn't possess these qualities, he is only a creature with the repulsive smell of, nasty smell of the skin, the muscles, the flesh, etc. Such a person will be hated by others. It is these emotions which make a person beautiful. According to the Guru, there are two kinds of persons. A person can be a Kribalu. A person can be a Kribana. Who is a Kribalu? As the name implies, a Kribalu will be a compassionate person, a loving person, a person who loves all. He will be sociable. He mingles with others. He is interested in the affairs of others. He tries to feel the pulse of others. He enters the minds of others. He works for the welfare of others, for the development of others. He can read the minds of others. He will be sociable. Whenever another person has got some problem, he interferes. He tries to tackle that problem. He tries to help him. Such a person, the Guru wants like such a person. Whatever the criminal, just the opposite. What will be an extrovert, whereas a criminal will be an introvert. Who is an introvert? He concentrates on himself. He is selfish. A criminal is not selfish. He serves others. He expects nothing in return. What about a criminal? He is selfish. He is too selfish. He gives importance to himself. He is not bothered about others. He is not interested in the affairs of others, in the welfare of others, in the development of others. He is not a human being. His body, a repulsive one, with the repulsive smell, nasty smell of, as I already said, the skin, the bones, the flesh, the tissues, etc. The Guru wants such persons in Anugamba Dasanam. Our Guru, Srinarayan Guru, deals with mercy, kindness, and love. Such things can be seen in Atmadesha Sadaka. In Atma Sadaka, he deals with all these things, all these good qualities. He says, we have to love our environment. Loving our environment is a value. The Guru says, it's our noble duty to love and protect our environment. It's our environment which makes our lives beautiful. It's our noble duty to protect it. This environment gives us many things. gives us oxygen, gives us food, gives us water, gives us many, many things. But this environment, this pregnancy, this Amma, this mother, doesn't expect in return. We have to follow this nature, this karma, without expecting anything in return, with expecting nothing in return. We have to follow this. We have already destroyed this nature. We have already polluted this nature. That's the reason we see many ugly things in our society, in our world, in our universe. Hence, we have to follow all these values in our lives. It's very easy for us to talk about values, but very difficult to follow them in our lives. According to the Guru, the religion is a very important value. He is not against it. Of course, we know he gives more importance to humanity. Religion is good. All religions are good according to the Guru. What about Christianity? Christianity is us. We have to love others. Christianity is founded on the value, on the principle of unconditional love. What about Islam? Islam stands for universal brotherhood. Universal brotherhood. What about the Hinduism, a way of life? According to the Guru, Hinduism, it is a very good way of life. If we follow all these things, our lives will be beautiful. There will be happiness. There will be peace of mind. Everything will be okay. No religion teaches us bad things. What about Christianity love? What about Islam? Universal brotherhood. That means all are our sisters and brothers. As the Guru said, from the same womb. We all belong to the same womb. We are brothers. We have love. We have to help. We should never wound, hurt the minds of others. Externally, religions may seem to be different, but the main teachings are the same. Unconditional love is not against universal brotherhood. What about Hinduism? Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. Same. Way of life. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Sir, please tell me, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We
Okay.
can hear you. Okay.
There was some interruption, madam. That means
No, sir.
we have to love all religions because these religions teach the same things, the same principles. Sri Narayana Guru was against the casteism. According to the Guru, there's only one caste, the caste of humanity, human beings. Our Sri Narayana Guru wants to inculcate and develop these values through proper education. At present, our education system is not good. Our present system of education gives no importance to these values. How to develop these values? Everybody talks about these values, but our children do not change. Why? Only talking, no actions. We say something, we do some other things. We can develop these values. Old people, if parents follow these values in their actual lives, this will be observed by their children. They will unconsciously imitate these values in their lives. The system of education has to be changed. Our education system teaches certain subjects. Our children may or may not study these subjects, but their minds do not develop. In order to develop their minds, they have to practice, they have to follow these values in their lives. Our children have to love others, how to love this pregnancy, how to love their houses, how to love their families, how to love their neighbors, how to respect their teachers. In order to have all these things, these values have to be developed in our children. The best way is following these values in our lives. We old people, we parents, how to follow them in our lives. That means that's a very important principle, learning through observation. We, but we don't follow us in our lives. As far as we are concerned, there are two behaviors. One behavior, the inner behavior, and the outer behavior. No connection between our inner behavior and outer behavior. This is the main reason for our unhappiness. We think in one way, we say some other thing. Our children will be in a dilemma. If we love others, our children will love others. If we respect others, our children will respect others. If we hate others, our children will hate others. At present in our society, no importance is going to love, mercy, kindness, Arul, Aningamba, etc. That's the main problem. In the words of the Guru, we are not human beings. We have already destroyed our nature. It is different things. Hence, there should be only one behavior. Our behavior, there should be our inner behavior and outer behavior will be the same. Jesus Christ Srinarayana Guru, Swami Vivekananda. They had only one behavior. The inner behavior and the behavior which is outside, the same. What about our behavior? Two behaviors. We preach, we don't follow what we preach. That's the main problem. We talk about values. We talk about cleanliness. We talk about the 5 kinds of purities. We talk about many things, but we don't follow all those things in our lives. That's the main problem. That means whenever we say a good thing, whenever we talk about good values, we have to follow them in our actual lives. Then everything will be okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was our pleasure listening to you and the informative and reviewing session, because it was like you were talking about the values which Narayana Guru stressed, and it is the duty of one or everyone in their life that they should actually inculcate or possess these values. So it was like a kind of reviewing session, sir. We were happy about it, and we really thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now the
Any doubt?
participants, yes, if you have any doubt, you can please ask.
Have you followed?
Sir?
Did you like my words?
Yes, sir, yes. I was telling my colleagues, sir, it was really a relieving one. Like it was like a kind of refreshing session. We could grasp a lot.
Because there is some problem, madam.
Yes, sir, yes.
For
Grishan,
our
sir,
teeth,
yes,
we have to
sir.
go.
But there was not such
It will be
disturbance.
clear.
Yeah, it was clear only, sir.
So my teeth were removed.
Yes, sir, yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
So my words will not be clear.
Yes, sir.
It is very
But
difficult for me to speak because of this problem.
sir, apart from some network issue, we didn't have any other issues like you
Some network.
are mentioning about, sir. There was no disturbance, sir. It was clear.
Any question?
Sir, I think there are
The
no
problem
questions.
is this, madam.
Yes, sir. No issues, sir.
Sir, Girishan sir,
Tell me, sir.
this is a problem.
Yes, yes,
What
yes, sir. But not
very,
an
very
issue.
difficult for me to say. Very,
Not
very
a-
difficult.
That is not
Very
an issue
difficult
for
to
us,
say
sir.
because of this.
Oh, we could understand, but there was no problem except some hindrance during that beginning. It was enchanting, sir. We were all eager to listen your words on
You have a
Sridhar
question?
Guru's thoughts. And I think you have done a research on him along with your wife, I think.
Education philosophy, sir.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On the education philosophy, education philosophy.
Yes, yes. You are for a long time you are associated with Srinarayan Guru's thoughts and beliefs. We are all new to.
Yes, sir.
Even though our college is named after him, we want to get more information about Guru's thoughts, teachings,
Okay.
and so on and so forth. So
When the
really,
college they come, when the college reopens, I may come there. I
sure,
know
sure,
that
sure, sir.
College.
Sure, sir. We are. very warm welcome to you, sir. Whenever the
Your
COVID.
college, a very good college. I have seen it.
Okay, sir. It is on the highway, sir. Highway.
Yes, I know. Many time I have
when you
seen
go to
it many a
Coimbatore,
time.
yes. When you go to
A very
Coimbatore, after
beautiful college.
yes, sir. It is on the highway itself.
When everything is okay, I may come there, sir. I have going to, but I know it. I would like to come there, sir.
Sure, sir. Sure, you
If
may
you
call
invite me, I will come.
Sure, sir. Sure. When you cross Coimbatore, when you come to Coimbatore, you can call, sir. We are very eager to meet you, and a warm welcome to you always to our college.
I've been teaching psychology, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
I've been teaching psychology for the last 45 years.
Okay. Very good, sir. Very good, sir.
I may come there just to see you.
Sure,
people.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Since
your frank opinion about my words, your frank. Any difference you tell me.
Girish sir. Girish sir.
Any defects you tell me.
Girish sir, you are not welcoming us there.
Sure, madam. Whenever there is a issue in the border now,
You
the
please talk
transport or transit between Palakkad and Coimbatore is not smooth because of the COVID.
Okay.
It's over now. Definitely, we'll have an interactive session. We'll definitely call you, and we'll physically meet, madam.
Okay, thank you.
We are very fortunate to have such a kind of persons all these 3 days. That is what we handpicked all of you, and to profess and to propound the theories of Sri Narayana Guru. Because that is why we have made this conference, and all of us are fortunate to have and hear from from all of you. Not only one, all the speakers.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sundaresan, sir. Sundaresan.
Yes.
Kattilpurambil.
Yes.
So raise the hand. You can ask any question.
Yes, raised my hands, and I have to appreciate Dr. Sir. സാറിൻ്റെ പ്രഭാഷണം വളരെ വ്യക്തമായിരുന്നു. സാറിൻ്റെ വാല്യൂസ് മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയുന്നത് കൊണ്ട് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുണ്ടോ?
ഇല്ല സാർ, പറയാ സാർ.
സാറിൻ്റെ വാല്യൂസ് സാറിൻ്റെ വാല്യൂസ് വളരെ ഗഹനമായി ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചു. കൃപണനെയും കൃപാലുവിനെയും കുറിച്ച് സാറ് വിശദീകരിച്ചു. ശ്രീനാരായണ ധർമ്മത്തിൽ സാമാന്യധർമ്മം ശുദ്ധി പഞ്ചകം മുതൽ ഏതാണ്ട് 100 ശ്ലോകങ്ങൾ വരെയുള്ളത് സാറ് നല്ല രീതിയിൽ വിവരിച്ചു തന്നു. ആ വാല്യൂസിനകത്ത് സാറിനോട് എനിക്കുള്ള ആദരവ് കടപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. സാറിൻ്റെ വാക്കുകളെ അനുസന്ധാനം ചെയ്യും. താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച്.
Thank you, Sundaresan sir. We don't know who you are, but anyway, for the appreciation and many thanks to you also. Please introduce yourself, sir. Sundaresan sir.
Yes, thank you very much.
Sir, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, why not?
Please,
I have my own identity on behalf of Sri Narayana Guru. I am myself is Sundaresan, worked in railways more than 40 years. I worked as a traveling ticket examiner, and I served the public only during these 40 years. I had a good and retired after 40 years of service. Now I am in the home, but I am learning Sri Narayana's Guru's teachings. That is, it is enough for, I think. I will be a student in front of you, Mr. Girish Kumarji. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Is it enough
Thanks
my
for joining.
introduction?
You can join in the afternoon session also, sir. Sundaresan, sir.
Yes, I got this. Luckily, I got this from my one of Mr. Pradeep from Bombay. He sent this link to me. He welcomed this meeting. It is a very Saraparanya Sri Narayana Dharmam, our values Satyam, Asteyam, Madhya Nishedam, Madhyam Kudikinula Gunam, Dosham, ദേഹശുദ്ധി മനഃശുദ്ധി വാക്ശുദ്ധി ഇന്ദ്രിയശുദ്ധി ഗ്രഹശുദ്ധി എല്ലാം സാറിന്ന് വളരെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ട് ഇവിടെ വിവരിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിൽ വളരെ കൃതാർത്ഥത ഉണ്ട്. താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച്.
താങ്ക് യു സർ. താങ്ക് യു സർ. താങ്ക് യു സർ. Please, participants, there is a kind of advice or instruction. All of you come in a video mode so that we'll take a screenshot of all the participants for a minute. Please come to the video mode. There's a request from the organizers to come in the video mode to have a snapshot of the participants. It's only for a minute. You may all come in video mode, please. Participants. Please press that video camera button so that all your faces will be visible. Screenshot it. See, they are not coming. Yes, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
An announcement. Dear all, we have come to the end of the third session and it's time for lunch. So we'll break for lunch and the conference will be resumed for the session 4 and which will be followed by the valedictory session. You are requested to join session 4 and the valedictory session at 1:30 p.m. Thank you one and all.